All right. Welcome, everyone, to Over and Back. Part 2 of today. I've already recorded a podcast. We decided to jump on tonight. It is 8:35 Sunday evening. I'm joined by Oregon head coach Chris Siebert, Greenfield. Greenfield
Man,
Greenfield doesn't even have a team. There's no Greenville team. Greenfield.
that's a tough start. That's a tough start for Coach DePouw.
I just got out of the hot tub.
We can recover.
Ryan DePouw. Well, frankly, I was about to say something. I'm not even going to say it. Anyways, welcome, guys. You guys, we went back and forth on we were going to do the podcast at 7:30. Then everyone ghosted me, and then DePouw jumps in, and then Siebert comes back in, and so we decided to do a podcast late night Sunday night. No Kellett. We didn't even invite him. Should we have invited Kellett?
It's hard to track. It's hard to get everybody tracked down.
I think this is a good group. I really do. I love Coach Kellett as much as the next guy, but I think this is a good three-man podcast right here.
All right, what do we want to start with? We were talking Duke. We were just talking Duke offline. Duke just got done playing. We were talking about Con.
He's still very good. You got to be happy with the second half. I mean, I think it was fairly predictable that Louisville wasn't going to shoot 75% from three the whole game for the entirety of it, but had to make you sweat a little bit, Sam.
I've said this before. I don't sweat with Con. And I know there's another layer with Duke, but like, I know he's always going to be fine. Did he shoot? He didn't shoot great again. He had another poor shooting night, but he always plays well. That's the thing. He's always plays well. I don't know. Louisville shot like 70% in the first half. Like, that's not sustainable. It's not happening. So I figured it would come back around.
Cool to see Chucky off to a nice start with Louisville this year. He's scoring the ball better. But the big stretch of the game was that stretch in the second half when Cooper went out. I thought it was props to Shire for sticking with like a lineup with, bunch of bench guys that went that super small with like quote unquote Con guarding fours or Mason, whichever one you want to say, Gillis. And then I think they went on like a 15-2 run. The Malik Brown made a bunch of plays. And last game, the game was won by like the ninth man too, but the Auburn game with the Evans kid hitting a bunch of threes in the first half. Just they're a team with so much talent, so many guys. You can tell Cooper's a good teammate, that it's like different dudes every night. It's going to be different dudes. That's what and if they keep winning, every guy will get their shine.
Do you think there's something to the point of them going on a run with Cooper's out? Cooper's very ball dominant. I know he's the best player in the country, but like, he's very ball dominant.
I mean, there was he's really good. They were
he's okay.
I mean, there was something to be said of the shooting that was on the court when and the defensive versatility went, but Cooper can do all those things too. They got more than 5 good players, so it's going to be a different combination in each game.
Yeah, I do think it was, a good thing for Duke fans and just the team to see, though, that, I mean, if your goal is to win a national championship at some point during the 6-game run that you need in March, there's going to be a game where Cooper's out with fouls or where it's that type of moment. And now they have experience, playing without him and going on a big run that certainly can't hurt.
No, for sure. And it's good for everybody. They know that if they make winning plays, they're going to get more time, in that group, that they earn that long stretch. They put the game away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. We should probably segue into high school. This is why we're talking about. We're here to talk about high school, right? Should we? Did you guys watch Hortonville? Did you guys watch Hortonville Appleton North or no? I know, Ryan, you did, didn't you?
I did. Chris, did you?
I missed it, but I saw parts of it. Saw the end.
Thoughts, Ryan? I'll let you start.
It was a grinder game. I mean, low possessions, physical, tough, and also a December game, I guess. Kind of my theme for the way I've been thinking about a lot of these games and teams and whatnot early season, and even looking at our own stuff, is try not to overreact either way, which is really hard, right? Especially as a coach here. You got you're daydreaming about your combinations and what it's going to look like and what you can do and what you can't do and how things are going to go. And then about the only thing that we ever know in December is that we don't know that much, and that stuff is going to go haywire, and people are going to, whatever. We're going to have guys that step up and are better than we thought, or commonly we're going to have guys that we were counting on that weren't as good as we thought or weren't ready for it, at least not in December. So, I mean, the Friday night scoreboard was, pretty, I guess, different than what you would expect based on like preseason rankings and Massey and some of that stuff. But I also think it really illustrates that early in the season, even the quote unquote best teams are figuring out a lot. And it's it's more so about getting kind of a skeleton or an outline of, what's gonna really grow and develop as the year goes on.
No, I agree. I mean, early season game, both those teams are going to look really different. There's going to be like 5 versions of both those teams throughout the year, so things will change. But I think early in the biggest thing, like you said, with the scores being what they were, I think everyone might be a little bit closer together this year. There's maybe one tier with a ton of teams in there, and as far as the FEA, like Hortonville's looked really good. Like you said in your podcast, I think Joling took a huge jump. They ran a nice little action for him that
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. I switched out my microphone and headphones, so okay. I just watched bits and pieces. I missed a little bit of you, Ryan, because I was switching stuff up, so I missed you. But I watched a little bit of it. I mean, they were down immediately. They were down like 15 the whole game for the most part, weren't they? And I apologize if I'm repeating what you said, but
yeah, and this is good. I mean, good comeback. It felt tighter than it was the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
I only saw it down the stretch. Good freshman for Appleton North.
Mm-hmm.
They got two of them, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both good. I watched a lot of the Bayport game. The Hortonville one, I was a little distracted trying to watch like 3 games at once, but I watched a lot of the Bayport game. Those 2 freshmen are really quite good, and to step in your first high school varsity game, in a tight game like that, and be able to not just be on the court without being jittery or being a turnover machine or getting out of position and whatnot, but be able to actually contribute was quite impressive.
So I know the one is the lefty shooter, right? Who's the second freshman?
Oh, he's another lefty. He's like 6'3" or 4.
All these lefties all of a sudden. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know either of their names. I know I would know the one person's name if I heard it, but it's early season. I gotta get used to these people's names. Just like I couldn't figure out Greenville or Greenfield. It's early.
Right. It's early season content.
Yeah, we're not in mid-season form yet, for sure.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, let's Ryan, you had a game. When did you have your game?
Monday, Friday. 2-0 for the Hawks.
Okay.
Good. Good early season week. Again, lot to get better. At 84-41 over Kingdom Prep, and then 84-61 on the back of a 30-2 second half run. I think was the highest I've ever been a part of in my coaching career to win at Milwaukee Lutheran. So good to win on the road. Good to get the first conference game, but long way to go.
And Chris, what was your week like?
We only had one game this week, but similar message as DePouw. 2-0 start. Good 2-0 start. Offense has been a little ahead of where we have been in the past. Early in the year, not turning the ball over a lot, but we got to get better on the other end.
Now, one thing that you have that I'm assuming Ryan does not have. Ryan does not have a D1 player on his team, correct? Do you? I mean, at least not right now. You don't.
He's got 2 legit college players. 2 legit seniors.
Vaughn's really good.
Okay, he doesn't have Vaughn.
Good players too. None of them have 7'1" wingspans. But we have some talented players, absolutely. And I actually had one player, Mason Siebert Pinter, who broke the school scoring record with 42 on Friday. But
didn't know that. That's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's awesome to hear. Did not know that.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Mason, hard worker, good kid. But yeah, Vaughn is putting up some numbers for Chris.
So that's weird. That's funny. So you both had kids that broke the school scoring record this past week.
And DePouw just trying to outdo me.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, it's kind of been a theme of like the early season. I think that the modern game, like kind of the way things are going, and like kids can score, and teams are putting their best players in actions over and over and over and over. We gave up 36 in game one to, a kid that felt unstoppable. I mean, I don't see these big scoring nights stopping anytime soon. And you see it in the NBA too.
There's a prediction. There will be a lot of school scoring record, both single game and career, broken during the 24-25 season. I've felt the same way watching film. It's like, okay, that's going to be fun to try and stop, or not sure what you do with that besides hope they miss. There's some people are getting creative, and it's been a lot of points.
Well, so what's the difference between last year and this year then?
I mean, I just, not necessarily that, but it's more like a 10-year trend. But I kind of think like 25 is the new 18 and 35 is the new 25 in ways. I sort of honestly, I think that the popularity of the ball screen and the ability to just put the ball in the same person's hands over and over and over, the ease of getting good touches for the same person over and over and over, has kind of just shifted the game that way over the last 10 years, I think.
I would add in
somewhat the freedom of movement too, but yeah.
I would add in on that. I don't think there's many teams that are playing more than one non-shooter anymore. Like, no matter what team you watch, they're putting their guy, like if they got a really good player, they're putting either 3 shooters around him and someone, down low for dunker spot dump downs, or they're putting 4 shooters around him and just letting him go and play. And that is, it's trickled down, like Chris said, from the pro game down to college and down to high school. But it is tough to stop a good player in space.
Totally.
But I mean, obviously the shooters, that's
more possessions and more threes too. I mean, math is real.
And I mean, the shooting stuff too is obviously if the teams have them. I mean, you're talking like the top level teams, obviously, that have shooters are going to keep the shooters on the floor, which makes sense. It's
just got so hard. It's gotten so hard as a non-shooter to, it's gotten hard.
You've got to be really, really elite defender or rebounder to stay, to be on the floor, or whatever, if you can't shoot at all.
Defender, rebounder, got to be able to move the ball quickly and the flow of the you got to be like darn near an A at every other attribute if you're not at least a passable shooter.
Yeah. So all right, so you guys are both off to good starts. Any surprises from the week of scores at all? Like I sent you guys, Whitnall lost by 21. The hell happened? I mean, wasn't Whitnall supposed to be a pretty good D2 team?
They're going to be fine.
I figured, but how the hell do you lose by 21?
I think maybe kind of along the same lines what we're talking about with all the threes and the offenses and stuff, is if you can catch a bad night shooting the ball and the other team can catch a good one, and that can balloon either direction real fast. And they won by 70 the night before, so they're gonna thump plenty of teams along the way as well. Obviously, with those couple of guards, Miles Hero and Jack Lutz can both fill it up, but I haven't seen the stats yet. It's not in our pool yet.
Yep, I looked too, and I didn't. That's the first thing I looked at, and it wasn't there, so I have no idea. Because I figured something weird happened shooting wise, but
I would guess a lot of shooting variance. I haven't, unfortunately, seen the full film yet, but it should soon.
How I mentioned this in my podcast earlier. How quickly do you guys? I don't know. I think we've talked about this before, but refresh my memory. How does Wiz Sports get the stats, and how quickly do you guys load them? Like, how does that process work?
I mean, it's all on the coach. I put them in as soon as I kind of get it. I usually put them in some point the next day.
Yeah, I either do like the scoring box right away if I'm on the bus, if it's a road game, because I got the book right there and I can get that done. Otherwise, I'll upload it to Huddle that night, and then whenever they get the stats back, I'll throw them in the next day.
Yeah, so we send the film into Huddle to get tagged or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess some coaches probably do keep their own stats like during the game, and those coaches can probably get them up faster, but I don't think most teams are keeping live stats.
Okay, because I've heard that before, that like that some schools will have someone at the table, they'll do their stats, and they just pop it in that way.
It's cool when they have that.
Yeah, is there a website with sports website that you guys log into and that you upload it that way? Is that how it gets uploaded?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So is 24 hours a safe number? 48?
The Friday game is harder than the Tuesday game.
I think I just think, yeah, for sure.
Because the Friday game, sometimes it takes longer to get the stats back. I feel like the weekday game, you usually get in the huddle one, like I got to go through it and make sure because they'll like miss people's numbers and whatever. Do a quick,
it's not perfect.
Do a quick sweep, but you can at least get the initial whatever numbers in there. On the Tuesday game or the weekday game, you usually get it back by noon the next day, which plenty of time to get it up before practice and be good to go. But the weekend one, sometimes it's like literally Saturday at 7 p.m. when you get it back, and you might have stuff going on by that point in the weekend where it becomes a Sunday project.
I do think it should be. I mean, I know where you're going, and I honestly think that the state of Iowa has two rules that I think are awesome. Like I do think that coaches should be allowed or should be required to like put their stats in somewhere. I just think it like helps people follow the game. It helps kids grow. It helps kids learn the game. It helps them enjoy play. I just think it improves the overall experience. Then I also think coaches should be required. I think there should be like a statewide film pool. I mean, like coaching is like not easy. And it keeps getting harder and harder. And like, I just don't understand why we make film another obstacle. Like coaches are going to find the film or whatever. I don't know why you'd have rules of sharing with certain schools versus conferences and not. I just think everyone's film should be in one place, accessible to huddle. Like schools that take their YouTube down less than 12 hours later, you like, with all due respect, you're prioritizing all the wrong things about high school sports. Like coaches are going to find the film. It's just going to be harder to get. And now grandma can't watch the game, or your kids can't watch the game, or your alumni can't watch the game. So like, it's crazy to me that like, in every conference share pool, I could go on and on about this, has, we have a conference share pool and every single one has 2 to 3 coaches that are just habitual, not put a game in, put a girls game in, put the wrong game in, put last year's game in, whatever it may be. So like, honestly, I don't understand why we're doing anything to make our jobs harder. I think coaches should be helping each other. So I think that film and stats are both good for the game.
Did you want to call any people out specifically or no? You kind of just did, but you don't have to.
No, I'm waiting on I will be. It's one of my passion projects for this year. I'm off the Bredesen shot clock, and I am. I'm looking forward to our conference coaches meeting, and I am going to talk about our share pool just because it's wild to me that it's there for a reason. Speaking
of shot clock, I finally met shot clock Sean Kreider. I finally met him a couple months ago at the Dell in the basketball coaches clinic or meeting thing in the Dells.
Yeah, he's good.
Didn't talk to him about the shot clock, but I finally met him.
Has there been a noteworthy game this year that's been that there's been a crazy stall? I haven't heard it yet, actually.
Well, Appleton East beat Marshfield 39-37. So my assumption is that shot clock probably could have been used there, but I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. Maybe it was just terrible shooting.
We tried to hold the ball for one with 55 seconds left, and my kids were physically incapable of pass, so we shot a 3 in 15 seconds. But shot went in.
Couple things. First off, does Ryan? This is for the viewers. Does Ryan look like he is in HD and Chris and I are in completely SD standard definition?
My iPhone 8
I don't know. And I checked at my like view, and mine settings are at like, my settings are in HD. It says.
Remember what we were talking about, prioritizing the right things?
Well, I think it's fair. Why does Ryan get to look better than us?
He looks great. It's okay.
Thank you.
Good segue. Siebert, when's the last time you saw Ryan in person, face to face?
Yesterday.
Fucking A. All right, before that.
I don't know.
I suppose probably every week CGL or no?
Yeah.
Between sessions right now. And actually bad news. I don't think I can play this session. Just late practices on tons of Wednesdays. It's getting harder and harder and harder and harder to drive over there during the season.
Did the draft happen for the next session yet or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was actually wondering if I was going to have a team.
It didn't. The next session starts first week of January.
Oh, so we got a week. Okay. Where I was going with this was, Ryan, when was the last time I saw you? It was in the Dells, right?
Dells, correct.
Is that October?
Yes.
2 months ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you lost a fucking ton of weight?
A ton, man. like
a lot? Enough that it's noticeable.
Oh, just I mean, I can't fully answer that, but
has Ryan lost like 15 pounds?
Good for you, Coach D.
Am I right? Am I right or no?
I wouldn't say 15, just a couple. We're staying on top of it. Working out, getting after it.
You look great. I'm like, fucking Ryan looks thin.
Thanks, man.
Not that you didn't look thin before, but like your face looks thin.
Usually
you lose it in your face first, but what are you doing something? Are you doing? Because I started trying to do the carnivore diet.
No,
which
I'm
is
honestly,
fun, but
just cut down on the ice cream sandwiches a little bit, and that's about that.
State's leading scorer 13 years ago. Of course he's doing great shit. Speaking of, the big Coach DePouw led the state in scoring at 31 a game. What, 31 a game?
30.0.
30 a game 13 years ago. Would that be in the top
15? Yeah, you'd be in the inflated stats era. This is like the juice ball era when all those guys were hitting home runs. When Sosa and McGuire and all those guys were hitting home runs. That's going to be.
He did it in the dead ball. 30 a game in the dead ball era.
Yeah,
and he still can't get minutes on the fucking UW Health team from.
No, it's a good squad.
Neither can I anymore. No, we're excited for Holy Cross though. Gonna have to find a way to stay in shape this one.
Well, we'll end on Holy Cross.
Okay.
We said we're gonna cap this at an hour, so we're at about 23 minutes.
Yeah, great.
What did you say?
Good intro.
It's not an intro.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I think I asked the question were any surprise scores at all from the first week of? Well, I mentioned Appleton East Marshfield. That fucking blew my mind.
I thought there was a lot of surprise scores, especially I thought what was it, Friday or Saturday, but at the same time, like DePouw said, like early in the year, like everybody's pretty close. And just like at the end of the day, winning and losing comes down to like what's the difference between that. A one possession game can go either way. The difference between Kaukauna winning that versus Oshkosh North winning that is one bounce. And games like that are all over the place. I would say, if any leagues, the Classic 8, there's been some like surprising scores. The Big 8's kind of starting to separate a little bit too early. I think teams are starting to show right away which ones are going to be the best ones there. But
the thing I wish I would have done before hopping on this is went on last year's WIS Sports scores for like this first Friday of conference games and just took a look at if there was anything that was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened, or crazy, or really out of line. If I had a time machine back an hour, I would have done that, and might be an interesting project for some fine unintentional podcast network listener to check out on their own, and maybe we'll give more evidence to what we're talking about that everyone's figuring out at the beginning of the year, or maybe it was pretty right in retrospect last year, and this year is just a little more parity driven early, and maybe that's going to be evidence of a larger trend, and I'm not quite sure why that would be if that's the answer, but I'm curious to that.
Well, it would take you double the time because there's 2 of every single team on Wii Sports that you'd have to click through. Have you noticed that, Sam?
No.
Yeah,
If you go to, Wii Sports, it's brutal on mobile. I can't even read
if you go on the conference pages, it shows every team twice, but then one game has their it has their actual standing, and then it has like a 0-0 version of the team. It's quite. I'm not going to call it the most user friendly thing of all time, but they'll work through it. It's the beginning of the season, working through it too.
Yeah, I expect you guys to give me the, Ryan, you got the Milwaukee area covered, and Siebert, you got the Madison area covered. So up here there was not. I don't know. Did you guys pay attention to all the FEA stuff at all? No, Kimberly does not look good. Kimberly looks like they're in disarray.
They've played really good teams.
They played Stevens Point without their best player. They didn't score a point in the first 10 minutes. And then they played Nina, who had Nick Schultz off the bench. But Nina's Nina. And I'm not saying that Kimberly's going to be fine. I think they will be fine. They got enough dudes. But, you watch them and you're like, this just looks – and again, it is early. There's a lot going on. But not the best start you'd want?
Ton of dudes. I think they'll be all right. I mean, they got so many guys with skill, so many guys that can make plays. And looking at their schedule too, it's a good week for them to have a full week of practice here. And then, they'll get better over these next 4 days. And then they have 2 good tests to kind of figure out where they're at. I think you'll have a better feel for them after next Saturday.
Hortonville Friday, Whitnall Saturday, right? Is that Whitnall Saturday, this Saturday already?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Kokona event, right?
Yep. Yep. No, I like Kimberly. I mean, obviously I haven't seen them play enough as a high school team, but saw all their guys last summer in different spots, and
a lot of versatility. Should be dynamite defense.
I'm full disclosure. You guys coach for Davis Brothers. How many Kimberly guys do you have that play for Davis Brothers?
2.
Oh, only 2.
2.
Krause and who else?
Jackson Wingard.
Okay. God, I would have thought it was more. Okay. I thought there was going to be 8 for the way. I'm like, here's these guys are pumping up Kimberly. Okay, got it. Only 2. All right. All right. I was wrong.
And Alex Krause, baller. Really good. Versatile, winner, unselfish.
Do you guys work on free throws? And I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, Alex. He didn't shoot well from the free throw line against Nina.
Interesting. He
other than that, he played really well.
Better days are coming for him. He can guard high level players, man. He can guard college level dudes, and he knows the game. And
I like Alex a lot.
And then Wingard has just a ton of skill with the ball. He can really, really score, really, really play, and also a lot of point guard moxie type stuff and pass swagger type stuff. He's going to be a really good player. I'm sure he's doing really well on JV. I haven't seen any of their games or anything, but
I don't know. I don't know who he is. I was watching JV, but I don't know what number he is. So I'll pay attention next time. I'll figure out who he is. But
player.
Yeah,
he loves basketball. He's competitive, and he has swagger.
How big is he?
You wish. I mean, 6 foot, I would guess, 6'1". But he's good. He's good. He's good.
Who's been good down here, Milwaukee area? I just thought about this when you're talking about teams that have stood out or there were questions about it. Wisconsin Lutheran appears to be pretty good again, it turns out. To the surprise that people were asking questions, not I, but
they look terrible in the summer.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hate this. All programs treat the summer so differently.
True.
I mean, I'll be the first person to say if you judge Oregon in the summer, you're not gonna get the picture that we are. And I think Wisco is one of those programs too. Not saying that there's a good way or a wrong way to do summer, but I just think some programs treat the summer like it's differently.
They look really good right now. I can tell you that.
They do. I mean, in the summer, it's a huge loss, right? You lose Khan. So you're like, now we have to all figure out how to play basketball again without this main cog. I mean, I think in the summer, I think they lost to Nina like 29-28. It was just gross in Kaukauna.
Bredeson's shot clock tweet. Might have to like pin it to the
Yeah, right. Yeah.
screen.
But no, they have looked well. Cager has gotten so much better.
He's a
so
monster.
much better.
He's a monster.
And Xavier's good as Xavier's so good, and Mellock's athletic as hell. Yeah, I thought I've watched him a little bit, just because obviously of the connection. But yeah, you're right, Ryan. They look to be pretty good.
And kind of in that same category of teams that lost a dynamo player, Pewaukee. I saw they won by a lot. I did not actually see the film yet, but that seems to be that they're going to be just fine. But teams that had kind of, I think that is one thing you can like kind of see early in the season is teams that like lost a stud or a real horse. Like if they're coming back the next year and playing really well at the start, then that's a good sign for their kind of prognosis, versus if they come out and they're, it's very clear that they're don't quite know what to do even 8 months after the player's been gone. That can be kind of an early season sign that actually matters more than just a one-off result from good or bad 3-point shooting. I didn't even see any of the Pewaukee games. Who did they play and who they beat?
They beat someone by 40. But no, they're really good. I mean, just the amount of IQ defensively, like these guys know how to play. I mean, I'll never forget this. Pewaukee brought like a 4th grade team to our youth tournament a year ago. And I don't want to put this guy on blast. So like a youth team may or may not have been wearing an Oregon jersey is playing against Pewaukee. And the coach stands up and he just starts screaming, "They can't play zone. They can't play zone. They can't play zone." They were playing man-to-man, and like their kids were like on the helpline in a stance in 4th grade. And like, I had to like stop this guy who may or may not have been representing our youth program and like been like, "Dude, no, that's what our defense is supposed to look like too." They have 3-4 coaches out there like teaching them during warm-ups. 4th grade. I think it might have been our B tournament too. And like the kids really knew where to be. So Pewaukee gets it done right. Their high school team's going to be able to play always. Shout out to the Wisconsin Lutheran, just because you called out a couple guys. Alex Green, really good, and he's playing really well, and he's a college player for sure.
Agreed. I've always liked Alex. What else done by you guys?
I agree with DePouw's take about so like the teams that like Pewaukee and Wisco survived. I think Arrowhead, it's a long season, they'll have time, but they play Wisco at their next game, so it's a good opportunity for them to kind of get back to showing that they can compete with some of the best teams in the Classic 8.
Kettle Moraines look very good.
Awesome.
They're playing great to start the year. Look like every bit a state contender in D1, and they've been the last 2 years, correct? So that would be going for 3 in a row. They looked really strong and really, really together. Just like one of those teams that has 4 or 5 college basketball players on the court the majority of the game is a luxury. Yeah.
I think they're the best defensive team I've seen this year. And I know that you wanted to do like a little bit of like a sectional preview or whatever, but if you look at like our sectional 3, Kettle's, I think definitely kind of the quote unquote early favorite to be a 1 seed type team. And, then there's a ton of teams that could say that, I don't know. Our sectional is pretty deep, but I think Kettle's in kind of a tier by themselves right now.
You guys are both D1, correct?
Greenfield's D2.
D2.
Were you D1 last year or D2 last year?
D2.
Fucking
That's
Greenville.
Greenville or Greenfield?
Greenville Little League team. They probably play. I don't know where they play their games.
Oh man, I've got for some reason I think Caden asked me tonight about you guys. I'm like, yeah, they're both D1. Why did I think you guys were D1?
It's all good.
Maybe that's how good of a coach you are, Ryan. I thought
Thank
D1
you.
coach. D1 coach.
We welcome any and all positive feedback.
What? How many years have you been there now?
This is year 3.
Year 3. Okay. And Siebert, how many years for you?
This is 7.
Jeez, you're an old fuck.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
When did you start? How old were you when you started coaching there?
I mean, I was 28 when I started.
Okay.
I think.
Do you guys envision how long you'll coach? I mean, you're married, Siebert. Ryan, you're not, right? Like,
I'm not.
Like everyone's lives are different, right? So and that changes. So you can maybe say now, today, I'm going to coach till I'm 50. And then all of a sudden you have 3 kids and you're like, I'm retiring, whatever. Do you guys think about now, like how long you want to coach or how long you think,
I mean, no, it's a great question. I love doing it. It's something I always wanted to do. I'm thankful for the opportunity and thankful for kind of where I get to coach. So right now I'm very, very happy. But
it's a great question.
Life happens. Yeah, it is a great question. It's a hard question.
I'm sorry for asking it.
And it should be one you'd think that you'd get asked quite a bit being a younger coach, but I honestly don't know if I've ever been asked that part of it. I've got asked like, why do you coach or, whatnot, but never like how long. I guess my answer would be if it stops being fun. Like right now, I can't imagine not doing it, but right now is right now, December 8th, 2024. And I hope that, that never changes and that there's always a joy and love for doing it. But as long as I love it, I'd, love to keep it going. Obviously life happens and can't predict the future, but.
You guys don't play each other, do you? And you guys don't play Kellett? Are we gonna hook up all the 3 of you guys playing each other at some point?
Our series is 1-1. Two not close games.
Yeah.
Between you 2, you're saying?
Yeah.
We're cutting it at that. I guess I'll break the spoiler here. Oregon is playing. We play Kellett next year.
Okay.
We're playing Kellett next year at that 608 tournament at
yeah.
Should be a fun one.
Are you in that this year?
No.
I saw Oshkosh North plays it, but it doesn't have an opponent. Do you know who they play this week? It's like this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 14th.
Yeah, it said. I just saw on West Sports. It said Oshkosh North TBD.
Interesting.
Huh. I wonder. I don't know. I'm just totally spitballing here. I wonder if it's that like Yorkville Christian team or some out of state team that's coming in type of deal or what? I don't know.
Are you looking it up, Siebert?
Trying to.
Because that's a pretty organized by. I mean, everyone I've heard of that has been to that event. And shout out to Coach Kegler and Madison College for how they run it. But everyone that I've ever heard from has said it's just a freaking awesome event and great time and really well run. So I'd have to imagine they have an opponent. Is I guess where I'm going with that.
What is the? I'm brainstorming an idea here.
Oh,
what is?
Plays, so Friday they play Nicolet.
Oh,
all that. Yep.
And then it says TBD because they play like the winner or loser of the other side.
Who's the other side?
Middleton and Romeoville, Illinois.
Okay.
Jesus.
Nicolet has looked good early season too. Have to give a shout out there.
That's a team that deserves some respect.
They went blow to blow with MAS, who was really good. Nicolet went blow for blow with them. It looks like.
What are the requirements to have a high school game at a like a neutral site?
Someone willing to host it.
So let's say I wanted to start in the unintentional a 4-team up at Harry Boyce's Team 1848 in Green Bay. He's got an NBA size court or at Holy Cross, whatever. And it's Greenfield. We're not inviting Greenville. Greenfield. It's Oregon. It's Appleton North. And then a team of my choosing. My team that I would pick. Maybe I picked a peer. Whatever it is. What would it take for that to happen? And the WI would be like, yeah, it's good. We're good to go. Like, you can do it. How easy is that to get done?
My understanding is pretty easy.
It feels like it should be pretty easy.
What do we want for our 4th team? Let's get because I know Harry will do it. You got to get some officials. Who do we want for the fourth team? Do we have Kimberly? Is Kimberly the fourth team?
The harder part, honestly, is finding the just like the openings in the schedule and like teams with available games.
How far are you scheduled?
Everybody basically goes 2 years in like home, kind of. But like at the same time, you can break them. But we're adding a couple games already next year, so we'd have to drop too many to like add multiple 2-game events.
So we're talking 2027.
Probably
26, 27?
27 down the line.
What's Krause's a 27? Krause's a 27 kid, right?
7.
I don't know if I want to play against Krause.
Well, I think it's a good idea. Let's bring.
You just got to hack a shack him, apparently.
Yeah. On the line, Alex.
I think it sounds like a good idea. We get
you guys. He didn't make his free throw.
He was like 1 for 6. He was like 1 for 6 from the free throw line.
Surprises me.
All right, so you two, Appleton North and Kimberly, 2 years.
I don't know how I feel, but I don't want to play DePouw.
What the hell is that about?
Neither of us want to play each other, Sam.
Why?
Perfect. 1-1 is perfect for the series.
Come on, guys.
It's not super fun to play like your good buddies.
I'll play Kellett, though.
I'll play Kellett. Yeah, why don't you both give us Kellett?
Apple North just gets a round robin of teams.
You go Friday, Saturday, showcase games. Appleton North hosts the Valley. Greenfield comes up one day. Oregon comes up the next.
Live show afterwards.
Live show afterwards.
All right. So you guys both play. You guys both play Appleton North, and then you both play Kimberly.
I'm more in on something like that than a win-loss thing.
Okay, I think that, and then we'll do it at Harry's place up in Green Bay. All right, I can talk to Lee. Harry's going to hear this, and Harry's going to be like, "Yep, I'm hosting."
Lee's talked to me for years. Harry, I'd love to have a conversation.
Well, to be fair, Holy Cross has got like the seating, not the seating for it. It's going to be a small venue. Like Harry's place doesn't have seating, so Holy Cross has got bleachers at least.
I've thought about doing a high school game for us at Holy Cross for years. It's kind of like.
Could it be branded the unintentional or no?
Yeah.
Will the WIA would be okay with that?
Well, there's like, isn't
I suppose if 608 does that.
It's the Bear Gusman shootout and the Rick Majerus Foundation shootout. I think you just.
Damn, we're doing this. This is getting done. I'm going to text Lee tomorrow. And this is getting done for 2027. 27, 26? 26, 27 season.
I would love to do it next year. Just we're easier to convince the following. It's easier for our schedule the following, but.
So 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. You want like over a Christmas break or what?
I don't know. We host a Christmas.
I'm asking you too, Ryan. You got it.
This is early.
I'm generally pretty open, pretty late with our scheduling. That's been it's been a weakness on my end, being proactive with that. So this is good. Anyone, the Greenfield admin will love me that I'm scheduling out in advance right now. So yes, the answer is
okay. Or at this point, I'm just gonna I'm sure Lee will be okay with it. Every year, I just get an unintentional game at Holy Cross. Doesn't have to be 4 teams. Maybe it's just 1 versus 1.
That's a great idea.
And at some point, it's you two against each other.
I like a 1 day unintentional day, 2 games, Greenfield versus someone, Oregon versus someone.
Live show after.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Yes, live podcast after. I like that.
Do an FVA versus like CGL staff game.
You can bring Stick Eisenhower.
Yes,
Ooh.
FVA versus UW Health. FVA
right.
versus UW Health. So you go Stick, you go Eisenhower, AO, you got Kettle, you got us. You got 4 versus 4 FVA teams.
All right, so we're gonna put this on the back burner. So we're gonna make this happen at some point.
The UW Health versus FVA.
Produced by the Unintentional Podcast Network.
Okay,
that is amazing. Now Oregon's in.
This is why we do this stuff. This is why we wing a podcast because we come up with these ideas.
This is brilliant. This will be like the ACC Big 12 thing.
Yeah,
or SEC ACC thing the other night.
It's brilliant. As long as you guys are coaching, this is the shit that we should be doing. This is the shit that you like. It's a little break. It's fun for you guys. If it's easy to do and you can get officials and it's approved, whatever, like, why would you not do it? I think it sounds like a great idea.
One game, Oregon made 25-26 is back on the table. I'm just throwing that out there.
I like that even better. Like it even better. Because then we've got North's super team with Ramus and Hardy and Sweeney.
We already played North.
I know. We'll let North play. DePouw can play him.
Oh, wonderful. Come here, Kellett. I love you, man.
When do you play North next week, or where do you play him next year?
Madison College.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. So segue. Let's go back to Austin Stick. Good segue.
Yeah.
How's his team? How does his team start out?
Really tough schedule, but they're competitive in every game, and I think he's doing a good job.
Won yesterday. They played. I want to say he played Germantown, West Dallas Central, Brookfield Central, and Waterford. Yeah, as 4 of his 5 first games. He's already played 5 games.
Jesus. Where is he at again?
New Berlin Eisenhower.
Okay, I know it's New Berlin. I just always forget which one. Okay, Eisenhower. So how is he at right now then? 5 games is insane.
They're 1-4, but
okay,
4 really good teams.
Yeah,
he's got good young players. He's got a junior that's really good, a freshman that is really good. I wish I knew more about his team, to be honest. I haven't watched.
You can tell they're playing hard for him because they've been down a couple times by like 15 to BC. I want to say it was at half, and they lost by 3. Germantown, they got down kind of early and fought back. So they're playing hard for him. He's doing a good job. I'm sure of it, and gonna keep doing a good job.
I know it's a ton of juniors.
I love Austin. I love Austin. Dude, what do you spot? He's such a. I just like. There's people I like. There's people I don't like. I like you guys. I like Austin. Austin's cool.
Yeah, he's a good person. He can score.
Yeah, yes, he can.
You saw the. You're still. You loved that scoring display.
Well,
someone picked him up? Someone picked him up full court. Oh, he had like a step back from like 40 feet after hitting like 5 in a row.
I love. We're going back to Holy Cross. By the way, you lost. We won.
He hopped on right now. I wonder if you'd say. I wonder if you'd to have the same DePouw intro. Austin, you look like you lost 15 pounds. No, they're good. Look at that segue.
I didn't know that. I don't even know where that angle was going. I have no idea.
But he's just a dude who scores, and you don't think, like you said, like he doesn't play how you think he's going to play.
I've said it forever. He's one of the most. I've tried to create the most unassuming
walking bucket.
Yeah, the most unassuming basketball players
like the NBA
I've ever watched.
Like Cantu is like how NBA players are going to talk about Cantu. That's about how men just visualize Austin.
Yeah, Austin, and he knows it. Austin knows it, right? Like he knows that he looks like he should not be playing basketball.
Well, yeah, he also used to be able to touch 11.5 feet. He could really jump.
He's so good.
He's good.
He's real good. He's real good.
Yeah.
He's probably wearing the sweatshirt right now. When he listens to this podcast, I bet it's about a 15% chance that he's wearing this sweatshirt.
All right, we're at 48 minutes. Let's cap this in 10 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to end on Holy Cross stuff. This is going to be the last Holy Cross stuff. I was just thinking to myself, I was in the hot tub before this, and Bennett. So you guys remember Bennett Freed, lacrosse central?
Yeah.
Went to Drake as a walk-on, transferred to Augustana, D2 Augustana. There's an injury in the lineup. He's started the last few games, and he's playing awesome. And I sat there and I thought to myself, our 2023 Holy Cross team, if Johnny and Milan would have been there the entire time, we would have won the fucking championship that year too.
Oh.
Like we lost to McCarty Law without Johnny and Milan, and we were up 20-2. We barely lost to him.
I loved the angle of where you were starting, and I was like, "Oh, this is good. I like this. I
Are
like
you
it."
like look at the fucking team? Look at that
Completely
23
crashed.
team. That 23 team. I'm so mad. Like I'm not. I get
Yeah,
it. Johnny Milan.
excellent, great team.
Holy
Great.
shit, dude. Johnny Milan, Bennett, Dalton. Like these guys are insane. That team would have won it all if Johnny Milan went around. And I'm nothing to take away from the guys that are not Johnny Milan, but Johnny Milan clearly are Johnny Milan. We would have won the whole thing. We would have. That's. I am without a doubt that would have happened.
That was the McCarty Law Championship, correct?
Who we were up 20-2 on, and we lost to by like single digits without Johnny Milan. You can't tell me we wouldn't have won it. You can't. There's no way.
No comment.
I think McCarty Law was on a mission after the 2022
Exactly.
first round big W for UW Health. I think they were coming back. I think they were like Virginia the year after they lost in the first round, and then came back the next year, won the championship.
They would not have beaten us with Johnny Milan. No fucking way. No way. There's no way. There's just no way. There's just no way.
I really want to say some if jokes, but you know what I mean.
Ifs and buts for candy nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. I get it, but like, I'm just saying we probably should have beaten them without Johnny and Milan.
Yeah, I think that if the Badgers had Chucky and Cam Jones got hurt yesterday and something else happened, and the bird flew out.
I get it. We didn't have Marquette. It's not that Johnny Milan got hurt. They were gone. They had spring break. They had vacations.
Yeah, so every team misses guys.
Oh, that's barely. That's not sometimes, but not a lot.
Every single team does every year. Our best player hasn't played 2 years in a row.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you missing your best two players? Because that's what Johnny and Milan were like.
Ben Avercamp, undefeated Holy Cross player. Just throwing that out there. Back for 2025.
Did he duck the unintentional last year?
Oh, just life happens. Dude's 35 years old and lives in North Carolina.
There you go. So you're saying Ben Avercamp, he's your best player?
Oh, I don't. Shoot, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I don't know if John's a listener, but yeah, the Avercamps are pretty valuable for our team.
They are. They're good.
Mark and Pau Gasol.
Yeah, exactly. they're the Gasol brothers of Wisconsin basketball. This has been discussed. I think they're the most underrated WIA players of the 21st century. That'd be a good podcast hour.
Ooh, I'd love to play that game. Get that set up. Get some categories. That could be fun.
Danny McQueen would be my Milwaukee City draft pick. Shouts Milwaukee North, class of 2009.
We come up with some good ideas here. We got the tournament. We got
unguardable.
We should
basketball on an ice hockey rink.
I'm telling you, we should commit to doing a podcast every Sunday, even if it's for a half an hour, and it's a wing it podcast, and we just come up with stupid ideas or great ideas.
I'd rather plan the podcast and execute the wrong ideas. You know,
we've got an unintentional tournament going on at Holy Cross next year, so
we got the unintentional tournament. I like the podcast of underrated WIA players.
Yep, that was a good idea. So far, that's two good ideas.
Oh my God, the underrated WIA that would take
Deshaun Reed, one of the best Greenfield Hawks of all time. He was like a walking for you huddle coaches. He was a walking 10 deflections a game.
Have you thought about your Holy Cross roster this year?
Yeah.
We're 4 months away.
Yeah.
Like this is right around the corner.
Just to irk your mind, our stud new pickup can't play the first weekend. So hopefully we get to weekend 2 so we don't have to make any excuses.
Just ask for weekend 2. Don't you guys normally do weekend 2 or no?
You want my honest opinion? We're too old to play 4 games in one weekend.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, there's that.
We need to advance.
I have to balance spring breaks. So like I got to look at these schools' spring breaks and
So
like,
you're just on the
I'm dealing with high school kids. So like
you're on the school district calendars. Like
that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yes.
Have you thought about your roster? What are you doing? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I'm back to high school kids.
All right. So you got 5 minutes to cap off this to give us your Holy Cross roster. I'll tell you our stud pickup. We have a fun stud pickup.
Okay.
The newest edition Holy Cross roster. I'm sure there's other people trying to get him too, but Hayden Doyle played at Brookfield East a long time ago, playing at WashU. We needed to get faster, and he is fast.
Yeah.
And he knows how to play. Really knows how to play. Shout out Coach Yuckham. Motion college coaches are the best men's tournament translation for kids. So he knows how to play Holy Cross basketball, and he's really athletic.
Is Ryan DePouw going to get any minutes at all this year?
I think so. So Coach D just had a really nice CGL session.
Although he's lost a ton of weight, he might be quick as fuck now.
I can confirm that's not true. I can still hold that clipboard. I can still call a timeout at the right time. I can still eat a couple of those oranges at opportune moments during the game. I bring value.
Yeah, exactly. Value is a good way to put it.
I'm excited.
Everyone's got a roll. What about your roster?
I don't want to confirm anyone other than I've got Zach Kinzinger and I've got Zay Mitchell.
Good start.
Well, I should say that's what I've been told that I have, right? Like, so I'm working with, obviously I've known Zach since he was tiny, whatever, young. So I'm, those guys, I let those guys kind of run it because they know more, they know the kids. I don't know a lot of these kids. And I got Brooks Hinson. I talked to Brooks. Brooks said, if it works, I'll play. So Brooks Hinson will play too.
You should get Price Gregory.
I think Price is playing too.
Be a good one. Price would be good for the Price. Just letting for Price being a listener that he is a future UW Health. He's on the radar of. He's in the. He's just playing for our farm system, the unintentional right now for
the championship farm system. Well, because what happens is when you play for the unintentional as a high school kid, you go through your college progression, and then if you don't play professionally, which a lot of these kids will, they will come back and play for the unintentional alumni team, which starts in 2027.
Oh no! See, that's where you're wrong.
I'm not wrong at all.
Jack Campion, who's already gone through our farm system, played intentional.
Jack, Jack will play professionally somewhere, don't you think?
UW Health. Same with Price Gregory.
Jack will play. You don't think Jack will play professionally somewhere? Or no.
Yeah, and he should. And when he does, he can also don the UW Health stripes.
You might be dead by then, Chris.
I might be.
And if you are, then I definitely am.
I might be. Who knows? Campion. Oh, it'll be nightmares for you.
But what's interesting, what's funny is that so now we've got an extra. We've collapsed the team because I went with Knipple and those guys, Schmitty tickets. Now they're going to have the team again. So you've got Goodman and Kahn and Taylor Boley and Brookings. Like all that team's going to be fucking loaded too.
Good. Keep the level of the tournament strong.
Agreed.
Frankly, another keep finding good young GM type dudes. We act really strong right now. I hope some of those seniors put together a team, and then I hope some of them kind of build a relationship with Lee and enjoy it to kind of keep bringing a team.
Yeah, that's what's so fun about Holy Cross, man, is when the first round is just 8 great games right off the jump.
Yeah, ideally we can get 16 great teams. So we need as many good teams as we possibly can.
I think they were gonna Norgard. I know was trying to get Lee to do a Legends, a 4-team or 6, whatever, an old bracket, whatever. But I think I don't think it's gonna go until next year, or start next year possibly if it starts. It's old guys, right?
I think Jeff should be playing in the open division, personally. But
he could.
He
I played pickup basketball with him on Wednesday nights. Like
he would be dominating.
He would not. Sorry, Jeff. Love you. Jeff would not be dominating at Holy Cross. He would not.
To quote Jeff Nordgaard, I know winning. I heard him yell that on a basketball court one time. He might not be amazing, but he knows winning. He would know how to play in the Holy Cross game.
I think I've told this on a podcast before, maybe with you guys. I never played at any level of basketball, basically, right? Like I didn't play high school ball. I know a little bit about basketball, right? I know a little bit. Love it. And I'll play pickup basketball with Jeff, and I'll be on his team, and he'll like direct me and tell me all to do this shit, whatever. And he'll get frustrated here and there. And I'm like, Jeff, I didn't fucking play high school basketball even. Like, I don't know all the shit that you know. Like, you have to understand your brain is way up here. I'm like lower level. You know what I mean? But he's a smart basketball player, man.
Very.
Even my youngest, Caden comes play with us too. And Caden loves it because when Caden's on Jeff's team, Caden's like, oh, I could just do this and this. And Jeff's like, I get a screen here, I get a screen there. And it's like,
that's the best part about basketball is that anybody can love it too. Whether you know what you're talking about or you don't. You're telling me you didn't even play the game and you're going to rip on Krause about his free throws?
I bet you I could make more free throws than him.
I can't wait to come to the unintentional shootout next year and hack a Krause for 36 minutes and watch. Just start a conversation. They'll have the shot clock. I'm going to hold the ball for the shot clock people, and then I'm going to hack a Shaq the entire game. Just have a time of possession of 35 minutes.
It is. I mean, to your point though, like it is true. Like Spoelstra, like there's guys that did not play basketball. Just because you didn't play basketball at a high level doesn't mean you don't know basketball, don't know how to coach it, can't talk about it, don't know the X's and O's. You know, I'm fully admitting that like on the court things, like actually playing, Jeff teaches me so much shit. Like because I've never been in the offense of moving certain things. You know what I mean? There's other things in basketball that I do know. Like I feel like I'm decent at scouting talent of people and what they do and how good they are, how good they can be. Oh, yeah, everyone's got their own role.
No shout out. I mean, the game knows no. I mean, if you know the game, if you can talk ball, you can go. Shout out Coach DePouw. He just gave me an awesome book.
Oh man, you beat me. I was literally just gonna say.
I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk about the book.
Okay, so this is good.
A little bit.
And we're past the 1 hour mark.
We are past the 1 hour mark.
But anyway, if you're a reader, unintentional podcast listeners, I feel like probably an enlightened crew. There's this book. It's called Pipeline to the Pros, and it's about the NBA level. Actually, 12 of the 30 teams, either their head decision maker or their coach is a former D3 guy. And it's about kind of what you talked about, how there were for a long time, like the only way you could have a chance to even comment on basketball or have a role was to be a former NBA player or like a nepotism type of thing. And this book's actually really sweet. It's about a lot of D3 guys and kind of the different pathways that they got into the game and like how that, considered quote unquote lower level of hoops has, found its way to the highest level in the NBA. And Brad Stevens, D3 guy, Coach Pop, coach Division III basketball, Budenholzer, D3 guy. And it's actually really quite neat. And then beyond that, kind of the scouting role, the player personnel, the, training world, et cetera. There's so many ways to be involved with the game. And your kind of point that you just talked about earlier there, Sam, made me, and Chris clearly too, because I stole it or I don't know. He got it in first, but there's a ton of ways to get involved with the game, and that's so cool. So what makes it so fun?
I love it. I've just always, I tell my kids this too, like because they love basketball. So I'm like, just surround yourself with a bunch of with basketball people. Like it's just some of my closest friends, and even like the three of us. Like, when did we meet each other? 2 years ago? Is it two?
Right when you ripped on Max Weisbrod for being named the best one. Nice to meet you.
But like we were strangers, 3 years ago, and like we text now all the time, and it's like I have so many connections from. I have so many like relationships with people from that I didn't go to high school or college with just because of basketball, because I just love being around the sport, and it's fun to meet people and get people's views, and I don't know.
So how are your FVA rankings going to did you overreact to the first night of scores like Coach DePouw was saying, or did you stick to your week 1 rankings kind of?
Kakana's won.
Kakana won. Good for wow.
So I'm doing this now. I'm going to do this. This is how I kind of explain it. It's early in the season. So like if you beat a team, you're just going to go above them because it's just there's not a lot, right? And then we'll go to a hybrid of beating teams into what I trust, and then we'll morph at the end of the year to who I trust, because you've played against each other so much. You can't just be like, well, you beat you, then you're like recently you go. So Kakana's won.
Are you using your favorite website, Massey, to supplement your own mind? No.
I looked at that.
This is unintentional rankings.
I do Massey ratings because me and Craig Donaldson pick games. We pick our games in the spread of games every FEA games. So Kakana 1, Oshkosh North 2, Hortonville 3, Appleton North 4, Neenah 5, Appleton East 6, Kimberly 7, Oshkosh West 8, Fond du Lac 9, Appleton West 10. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Without seeing a game, Fond du Lac seems low.
I agree. I said they're not going to stay in the 9th spot. They're 0-3. They've played 3 tough games, but they've I think I had them at
Fond du Lac feels low. Shout out Nick Ford, class of 2009.
Love Nick Ford. I wanted to put him ahead of Oshkosh West, but Oshkosh West beat Appleton West. I'm like, you know what? Fond du Lac's 0-3. We'll put them at 9. They're not going to stay there. That's where they're at.
Appleton North's going to be really good. I know.
No shit. Thanks.
I know that, but
they also look like shit on Friday.
Yeah, I honestly have been surprised by both of their scores. Kind of wish Kellett was on. Should we call him right now?
He just texted us, by the way, if you didn't see.
Did he? Oh, is he mad?
No, he texted about something else, I think. He has no idea we're doing this.
Okay. Well, you should.
But Kellett is Kellett's like, oh, I'm fine. We're not like, he's, which I get. Like, you don't want to put a bunch of heat on yourself, and I don't expect Kel to come on here or Kel to talk to us like, my team's amazing. We're going to win state. We're the best team in the FVA. Like, I don't expect that from Kellett. And he doesn't do that. So.
No, he doesn't do that.
No.
But trying to think I think Fond du Lac was the biggest team that jumped out in your rankings.
I agree. Like, they probably should be 8.
But I know it's hard to.
You're going to put them ahead of Kimberly? You're going to put them ahead of Appleton? Appleton East just beat them, so they can't. I mean, where are you going to put ahead of them?
Shout out to East. Couple big wins early.
Yeah,
insane.
Shout out to East.
Insane. That's the biggest surprise of the week 1.
But I guess again, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to overreact. I don't know who. I didn't watch that game, but like games that are decided, one possession, I'm sure it largely was a coin flip.
Right. So that's why, like, Kakana could be 2, Oshkosh North could be 1.
So where did you rank Appleton East? 6. And you have Fond du Lac 9, and they just lost a coin flip on the road at number 6.
I don't know if it's coin flip, but they lost by 3. But but in between them, you've got
that game. You got there all the way to 6.
You want me to put Kimberly to 9? You want Kimberly to be 9?
I'm just saying. I think that I would be surprised. I would be surprised if Fond du Lac.
Rankings are tough.
Tell me your rankings, Siebert. Tell me where you want to put Kimberly and Fond du Lac and Oshkosh West?
I just like giving you a hard time. If I had to rank this,
it's not easy.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the FEA, honestly. But I think that they're kind of tiers. You got those top 4 teams probably.
I said there was a top. I thought there was a top 2 and then the next 2, but Kakana, I think, is.
I think those games has kind of proven that those teams could maybe all be on one tier, right?
The Hortonville thing will be interesting. Like, I thought it was Appleton North and Oshkosh North, and I thought it was Kimberly and Kakana. Kakana clearly, obviously, should be a top tier. Kimberly, we'll find out with Kimberly. Hortonville, they beat Appleton North, but I don't know. It's not easy.
Hortonville had a good win against Fort Atkinson out of our league too. But
big comeback win.
Fort's going to be good.
Yep, I agree.
But no, I mean, that's what makes the FVA so fun, right? It's like, I mean, Coach DePouw and I talked about this like a lot. I don't want to like talk poorly about any leagues or anything, but like there are a lot of leagues where kids walk into the gym and you know who's going to win on a certain night.
Sure.
And there are a lot of gyms where you can walk into the quote unquote team ranked 8th. Like I know in our league in the Badger, you know, any team that got predicted 8th would say, "What the heck are you talking about?" You know, and I think our early non-conference results would show that too. And I think the FVA is the same thing of like any team that gets that ranking. It's like what we could play with anybody in the league. I think those are the funnest leagues is when kids are walking in and playing a lot of, you know, two couple possession games that you know, competitive games where you learn, where you grow.
All right, guys, I got to run. 10 minutes past my hour cutoff. Can I leave without ending this?
Yes, you can.
All right. Appreciate it. We'll be back and talk to y'all soon.
All right. See you, Ryan.
You the man, Coach D.
No, and that's the thing is like to say that Fond du Lac is 9. I'm not. I wrote on my website, and I think I even said in the pocket, like they're not going to stay at 9. They're not. They're better than 9. It's just where they are, how they lost, you know, how the record is, and who they lost, you know, whatever. And it's the FEA. Like, there's the teams that are the bottom teams are going to give the top teams trouble because it's the FEA. It's the way it is.
Totally. I am going to your trust rankings right now to read your
breakdowns.
Just kind of look at this in front of me.
And I like honestly, like I don't know a ton about Appleton West at all. I don't know a lot about Fond du Lac other than that I love Ford. I think Ford's an awesome coach. And yeah, if they would have beat Appleton East, you know, then it changes things. But they didn't. So
I mean, I just know that Fond du Lac playing Brookfield East MAS, playing Brookfield East at MAS and at Bayport in 3 of their first games kind of before will help them once they get into
for sure
FEA games.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah.
Here, let's end this thing.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, we've got to do it at least once a month for sure because this shit's fun.
Always.
All right, thanks, man. We'll talk.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.